There are lots of different ways insurance companies can try to deny your claim, but today what I'd like to do is hit some of the most common ones that we see here in Louisiana. The first and most common is that insurance companies will go back and look at your insurance application to see if you said something that may not have been true. If that is the case, some insurance companies will just deny your claim outright, claiming that you caused them to write a policy when otherwise they would not have. The secret is that it's not that straightforward. An insurance company has to show some kind of prejudice or intentional misrepresentation in order to get out of the policy that they committed to when you paid your premium. It's easy for an insurance company to tell you that they're suffering that prejudice or that you intentionally misrepresented something. It's a whole different story for them to convince a judge or a jury that that's what happened. It's important at that stage to have a legal team that knows what the standards are for prejudice or intentional misrepresentation and will apply those to the law and the facts of your specific case. Another very common type of denial is what we call workmanship denials. I laugh to myself when I see a hail claim because I don't think I've ever seen an engineer that was hired by an insurance company that actually has seen hail. This is one example of what we call a workmanship denial. They hire these engineers or these adjusters to get on the roof and say, oh, it looks like your roof was installed badly. And this applies not just to hail, but to all sorts of other things. One of an insurance company's favorite tools or favorite tricks to use is to say, oh, you had bad workmanship and that's what's causing the leak in your roof, or that's what's causing the water to come in, or that's what's causing the now huge hole in the side of your wall. Again, this is not as easy to prove as an insurance company might think, or as an insurance company might lead you to believe. It's important for the insurance company to actually prove their case. If they're going to say that you didn't suffer a hail loss or a storm loss or some other loss, and instead this is your fault because your property wasn't built well, that's something they're going to have to deal with in front of a judge or a jury if you assert your rights and file suit. Keep in mind, your contractor, the builder of your house, is likely going to be happy to testify that they did a good job. Accordingly, you shouldn't get too discouraged when they make that type of denial. But it is likely when they make that type of denial that they will dig their heels in until you sue them. Another final and very, very common source of denial is accusing you of lack of cooperation with your policy. This is an easy one for insurance companies because it doesn't really require the insurance company to do much work. They simply bombard you with requests for information, and then when you don't make yourself available at the drop of a hat, they accuse you of having waived your claim as a result of not cooperating with them. Again, it's not that easy. There is a legal standard to apply to figure out if your claim has been rightfully denied. This is something that a qualified legal team and a lawyer that practices just in property insurance can really figure out for you. This is probably not something that a lawyer without significant experience in property insurance would know off the top of their head. Here, if your insurance company is saying that you're not cooperating and they're denying your claim, it's important to get someone that can apply the legal standard to the facts of your case as well and figure out if that's really what should be happening here. More likely than not, if one of these three denials has been given, you may have an argument that you can make for bad faith because that means the insurance company isn't paying you. As a result, that puts a huge set of risk on top of the insurance company. So if you're falling victim to one of these three common tricks for denying claims, it makes sense to get a law firm on your side as soon as possible.